Okay guys, a few hours later, this is all dried and mixed up our Sculpt mold with some sienna brown, and it pretty well matches what we had before. And what I want to do is just get a lot of this filled in up here. We can kind of blend some of this. All right. That'll work out really nice. Gives us a good blend in there. And just smear it in and work this in really good. This will probably be the first of many coats that go on here. It's looking pretty good. Get that all blended up in there. All right. I'm liking it so far. That's the main thing. I guess the dog likes it too. Of course, the dog always has to bark when you're in the middle of doing a video. It never fails. Alright, we're now on to the second batch of Sculpt mold. Use the first batch up. Get this spread in the rest of the spots. And same as what we did before. We've got our sienna brown mixed in with our Sculpt mold. Gives us that tannish color. Work on getting it spread out. Takes a little bit of time. In the end, it's going to look good. Little by little. Gotta learn not to try to rush this stuff. We let the fiber cloth dry. That was dry for about an hour before we came back to work on this part. Keep mixing this to keep it very pliable. Make sure it's good and mixed in. Spread this around. Work it up into the joints. feathering that all in. Make this nice and solid. Nice little contour there. See the white in there, and that plaster needs to be mixed up a little. That's what these white chips are, stuff that didn't mix in very well. Go mix it a little more. Try to get them to break down. That's okay. Coating here. Try to get all your big areas done first. Then you come back and work on the little stuff. Get all the big stuff done, then you can come back. You can work on all your little spots that you got that you want to fill in. Like I say, just take your time. You're in no rush. Take it from me. Most of you know, I'll tell you, life goes on. You'll be in worse situations, and just look for the best of things. Alright, look at this. This is going to look good. Get that down in there. That's where our clip is going to be. The clip is going to look cool. Get some rock on it like we got over at the mine. Bottom section in. Don't worry about running out. Always make more. You run out of material, no big deal. You wait a couple days until you can afford to get more. You get there. Like I said, none of this has to be done all in one shot. Scrape out the spoon here the best we can. Get all our little excess. Fill in the joints. Take my little spreader here. Smooth some of this out. We're going to add some other texture to it later. Yeah, it looks like I'll need at least a third coat yet on here, which that'll be fine. And I'll probably make a fourth coat for filling in all the little detail. So that's our second coat. And so far it looks pretty good. Take a little bit of time and go in and kind of push some of this stuff down. Get it where you want it. Find it's nice to take these little things here These are great little spatulas you can pick up at Michael's in the cake department. And they're great for moving this stuff around, filling in these little gaps. You want to kind of spread some of this around, and you can pull some excess off and use it to fill in some of these little holes that you've got going on. Spread that out nice. Get an even thing there. Most of this along here will be trees. And like I said, we'll hide our moonshiners up in this one. We took the moonshine still out that we had up in this little section. We'll put them back in. That's just part of the scene in the mountains here. Alright. Well, I think that's good for now. Go get those washed up. I'll let this sit and dry for another 15-20 minutes. I'll come back and I'll put another coat on to go on here, and we'll also bring over maybe some of the rock molds that I got and see where I want to place them. A lot of times I might just take some hot glue, get them in an idea where I want to go with them. It'll tack them in place, and we can use the sculpt the mold to hold them permanently. So let me go get cleaned up. We'll come back and we'll put the third coat of sculpt the mold on, and we'll work our way from there. Alright, I pulled out the rocks. I got the two coats on. They look pretty good. What I want to do is go around, take the hot glue gun, and put these up in some of the places that I'd like to put some of my rocks. Then I'll come back and I'll pop them off and sculpt them, mold them in. I'm just going to use a hot glue gun to kind of tack them in place for right now to get an idea of where I'd like to put them. A little bit of hot glue on it. Stick that one up in there. Give it a minute or two to set. I have to use a little extra in there. There we go. I know I'll be able to pop them off. It's only, like I say, it's only hot glue. We'll come back with sculpt the mold and get them locked down and get it to stay. Alright, I think that'll look good there. Maybe something like that there. This might look good right up in there. Some of these little pieces. Kind of just getting a feel of where to kind of put them in. Give me a general idea. Maybe put that up in there like that. Put that like that. Good. is that 2-piece mold. Trying to get that maybe right there. We'll fill in behind it. Punch that in a little. See how that works out. Oh, I need more hot glue. Always running out of hot glue. Get in there, glue stick. Alright, let's stick that up in there. Get that held up in place. I think that'll look good right there. I like that. Give it a few minutes to dry. Best is to put them on where you feel you like them. There's no recommended way to put rocks on the side of a mountain. You just got to put what you think looks good to you. Alright. Is it going to stay? Is it going to stay? No. Wait a few more minutes. Get on there. This is why I know it'll be easy to peel off later. Just stay. Don't drop. Don't break. Just stay. Put a little more glue on there. I know this stuff will peel off because it's plaster. But come on, stick. There we go. Alright, let's see what else is gonna go. I like to kind of try to fit these together. That looks like that'll go right there. I'm liking that. And we'll go along the bottom of this. Real heavy with the glue. Go up in the sides real heavy. Kind of like that right where got it fitted there. Kind of matches the contour to the other rock. Give it a few minutes to dry. Probably put something underneath of it. That's the fun part of doing the rocks. As you notice, they're all plaster in the plaster color. I like doing that because the fact that when I go to stain these, it'll take the stain nice. Whether I do them in the red or I do them in a grayish black. When we did the mine, a lot of them are red and gray. They're like a combination. Let's see. That could actually fit right in there like that. Let's see. Like that. Yeah, pretty good. Alright. like it would go right in there pretty good. See about fitting that there. Looks like I got a pile on some hot glue right in there. Make a big pile there. A big pile over here. See if that holds it in place. Alright, hopefully you can see that. Starting to take some shape. Maybe fit that right in there. Oh, let's see, we got this one. Will be here. Gotta watch that. Alright, let's see. Probably do that there. Maybe that right in here. That looks like that would fit there. Nice. Alright. Load this up for there. Get that fitted right in there. Rather coming along pretty nice. I'm liking it. Got a little piece I could stick right there. Sometimes you just gotta play with them and see what you like and what fits where, and I think that might look good there if it's angled out, but I think it's too tall, so might leave that go there. Could lay it back a little. Could look interesting that way. Knock that one loose. Bring this one back this way. Level it off with that landform up there. I can actually cut some of that down if I want to. I think that might work pretty good. Going like that. Put that in. I guess I'll try that. Didn't even hot glue those and they're staying, so that's a good thing. Maybe they just want to be there. Like I said, we're just hot gluing these in temporary, and I'll come back and we'll plaster and go along with our Sculpt-A-Mold and lock them all in place. I figure I put glue on you now, you don't want to stay. There you go. Alright. Now we'll get our Sculpt-A-Mold and probably work these little bits in here and there. Might have some more rock sitting in some other places that I can squeeze in here and there. This one I'm not sure. May not even use it, which is fine. Use that for another project down the road. But we'll get some Sculpt-A-Mold mixed up and we'll be back in a bit. Alright, I got a small batch of Sculpt the Mold with some coloring in it made up. And now we'll get back to, yeah, like I said, this is a very small batch. It's not like the other batches we did that were big. This is so I can work with it. What we'll do is we'll put Sculpt the Mold on the back of these rocks and get it where it squishes out. And we'll work our way around it. So we'll get that like that. Squish it on here. And we can take our little forming. We can fill in some of these gaps so we don't see the blue. And we'll work our way around all the rocks this way. Get them all pretty much filled in. It's just going to take time. That's why I made a small batch and not a big batch. Otherwise the Sculpt the Mold would be hard before we get done. Put that up in there like that. Angle it a little. Use our little spatula to fill in down underneath. Get the top filled in there. That'll look good. This, you just got to take your time and be patient. Biggest thing with doing a lot of this modeling is being patient with what you're doing. Don't try to be in a rush. If you're going to try to be in a rush, it's not going to look as good. You take your time, it'll come out fantastic. Get into a rush, that's kind of when things go a little haywire and stuff like that. So just take your time. See, we can pick that off. There's one we hot glued on there earlier. You just pick this hot glue right off of the foam. Don't come off, don't worry about it. Spatula, put a big wad on the back of here, get this all put in, take this and get that all up in there, shove it on there, and you'll see it all squash out from under it, and we can just take our little trowel and work it in. Follow your lines a little. These are the little things. Like I said, just take your time. You'll find it'll be quite relaxing when you do it. Try to rush it. Not a good thing. If you to rush it, you get sloppy. Hopefully you guys can all see what I'm doing. Now I'm just troweling it on, filling in these light little spots. And I'll work my way around all these rocks and kind of do this all the same way. Just fill it in. It might take probably to do all this maybe 2 or 3 hours without rushing, you know, just taking my time. Use your trowel, you can make little marks in it, make it look like more going on with rocks and stuff like that. Trowel marks can Give yourself a little bit of texture while you're putting it on. I think those rocks are going to look nice when they're stained up in the gray. Don't worry about going over top of the rocks in spots like I am here. I'm filling in the crack, going over top. That'll look pretty good. I'm going to get some of these other little pieces that I had laying in the box. You can fit them in sections. Put that one like right up in here. Kind of blend in with things. That'll look good. Fill that up in later. I think this will look good once we get this all done. Get all our weeds and stuff up in here. Work my way to this corner. I know I'll have to put a lot more Sculpta mold in there, so that'll be a whole nother batch. Done to this corner, I'll work my way back that way. Fill in that corner there. Trying not to block everybody's view, it's kind of hard. Fill this in. Like I said, that's why we didn't make a big batch of Sculpta mold. Drop a little. Get up there. That's why I got a little piece of cardboard over the track to keep the track from getting all gooked up. It'll look good once I get it painted and weeds all up through here. Fill in these cracks. Where the brick are, I can always take a knife and score down around it. Bring back some of the brick detail. The big key thing is to fill in the cracks. There's no seams, so we want it to look seamless. So, working my way down this crack, slowly filling it in. Doesn't take much. Just working it in a little bit off my spatula. That looks pretty good. Work this in up along the rock. Whoa. Kind of use my spatula as my buck, like when I used to do plastering. Yeah, at one time I used to plaster houses. I did stucco for a while. That was kind of a fun job. All right. Work my way up there. Dead in here like that. They were my younger days doing stucco. Back when I was just out of high school. gap along here filled up. It's gonna look pretty good. I'm liking what I see. Take a couple more small pieces and fit them up in here. You can go along, put these little grooves in. Put the grooves in, they'll give you some extra detail. As you can see, this little bucket goes fast. Alright. Get this all up through here and squish it all on. I'm liking what we got. You can see this corner here, just about done. Looking really good. Just want to make sure you got all that blue from the styrofoam covered. Put a couple more details in there like that. Squish that in there pretty good. Alright. Like I said, you can put these lines in here. That'll give it some really neat detail. You also give, when you put your grass and stuff on, a lot of the grass and stuff will catch into those cracks and that, give it some really nice detail look. Alright, I'm going to fill in up along here. To get that done, I think we'll be done this side. Oh, I'll scrape my bowl up, get everything together and give it another little mix. Use the last of this on that one corner. Concrete there. Alright. Scrape off my spatula. Go on. I got one little rock here. I think I'll wiggle that into there. A couple more of these little rocks. Throw them in for a little bit of detail. I think I'll put that one down right along there. It'll look pretty good. Yeah, got them in there. Now I want to go along this wall seam here. Kind of blend that in with what we got going on up here. Blend it into the old. Blend the old into the new. All right. As you can see, this is coming along pretty good. Used up the last of my plaster for here. This batch. And go along. Put some detail in here like I did with the other. Just wiggle a little here and there. Get this to blend in a little. Alright. Looking fairly good. I'm liking it. Yep. This is as far as I'm going to go right now. I'll go back and in the next videos I'll do finishing of the other parts of the rock and then more of the detail. I'm going to put together the video for tonight so you guys can see it, and then in the next couple of days I'll extend the video to what else we get done here. I thank you guys for watching. Hit like and subscribe, and let me know if you guys have some other ideas on ways that you do it. I always like to hear, and you know, we've always done a lot of different ways of doing scenery and scratch building and stuff like that, but I'm always into something they may not have heard of before, so don't hesitate to let me know. So thank you guys for watching, and like I said, in a couple days I'll show you the rest of where we're at, and I'll try to keep doing the videos so that some of the new guys can learn, older guys can say, hey, I've done that technique, or hey, that's a new technique to me. Like I say, we're here to learn off each other, and I want to help a lot of the new guys that are getting into the hobby that haven't really had the experience. And I got well over 50 years of experience. I've been doing this since I was 5 with my father, and I grew up in the hobby, so I consider myself probably luckier than most, because I've always had a train layout since I was a kid. So I've always, you know, got to do this stuff. My mother was heavily involved in the trains as well, so she kind of pushed us all. But yeah, I'll go on. We'll get the rest, and thanks for watching tonight's video, and have a good night, and I'll see you in a couple days. Okay, here's where we leave off till our next video. I thank you all for following us. We hope that you have a great day. Don't forget to check us out. Hit like and share. And you can also catch us on Facebook on our O-Gauge Model Railroading Tips, Tricks, and More. That's a group that we have there. You can also come to Hennings Trains in Lansdale, PA, and check us out at henningstrains.com for your parts, Lionel, accessories, and trains, along with your scenery and other things that you may need. You can also check us out on the Train Shop Weekly, where we try to post at least every other week all the new items that come into the shop so that we can preview them.